Welcome back to another comparison. Today it's going to be tough as we'll be comparing some of the currently best platforms where you can earn between 9 and 12% annual interest by investing in loans. In this comparison between PeerBerry and Robocash, I'll introduce you to both platforms. We'll be reviewing some statistical data, but we'll also talk about the diversification, interest rates, liquidity, support, and we'll wrap up the video with some news surrounding both platforms. I've personally more than 23,000 euro stake on both platforms, so this comparison is enhanced with my own long-term experience. If you want to see what I like or dislike on PeerBerry and Robocash, stick until the end of this video. My name is Jakub from P2P Empire, and if you are new here and your goal is to become more educated in P2P lending, consider subscribing and hit the like button to see more videos from us in the future. So let's jump straight to the basics. Starting with PeerBerry. This platform is a marketplace, which means that PeerBerry is not really originating any loans, but listing loans from its lending partners, mainly operating under the Aventus Group trademark, GoFingo, LitHome, or the SIP Group. The platform was founded in 2017, while the team is located in Lithuania. The company is operating from Croatia. On PeerBerry, you can invest mainly in unsecured consumer loans. Most of the loans are short-term loans with a duration of less than 30 days. Your investments on PeerBerry are secured by a buyback and group guarantee. The buyback guarantee has been very reliable so far, and there has been no single case where the buyback guarantee could not be met. This guarantee basically means that if your investment is delayed for more than 60 days, the lending company will repurchase it from you, including the accrued interest. The interest on PeerBerry ranges between 9 and 11.5% at the moment. So that's what you will be earning when investing in the currently available loans. PeerBerry does come with a dedicated auto-invest tool that allows you to define your preferences and automate your investments. To learn more about this tool, you can check out this video where I dive deeper into the functionality of the auto-invest feature. As already mentioned, most of the loans on PeerBerry are short-term loans, which means that you won't be able to exit your investment before the end of the loan term, which is in most cases less than 30 days. As we are recording this comparison, there is no secondary market on PeerBerry where you could sell your investments before the end of the loan term. Alright, so now let's introduce Robocash. The Robocash investment platform was founded in 2017, while the parent company has been operating since 2013. The platform is headquartered in Zagreb, Croatia, while the Robocash lending group is operating in 8 markets, such as Russia, Vietnam, Kazakhstan, Philippines, Indonesia, Spain, and India. Currently, you can invest in loans from Kazakhstan, Singapore, Spain, and the Philippines. The majority of the loans are short-term or consumer loans. While you might see on the platform that some of the loans are categorized as commercial loans, this is solely based on the funding structure of those loans. The money is still used to fund a portfolio of unsecured short-term loans. All your investments are backed by a 30-day buyback guarantee. It works the same way like on PeerBerry, just the time frame is shorter. So if the loan is delayed for more than 30 days, the lending company will repurchase your claim with the accrued interest. The interest on Robocash ranges from 10.5 to 12.3%, which is slightly higher than on PeerBerry. While you won't be able to invest manually on Robocash, you can set up the auto-invest tool and automate your investments based on your own preferences. The platform also offers a secondary market feature that allows you to select your loans and sell them on the secondary market. Let's now have a look at some of the relevant statistics that will give you an idea about how the platform has developed over the years. There are currently more than 19,000 registered investors on Robocash. Since the inception of the platform in 2017, Robocash has funded more than 300 million euro worth of loans. The active investors on Robocash have earned in total 3.94 million euro in interest so far, and none of them have ever suffered a loss. The Robocash platform is not publishing financial reports for the platform itself, but you can review the audited reports of the Robocash Group for 2020. The company has made a profit of close to $24 million. Let's now have a look at the performance of PeerBerry. PeerBerry has currently more than 44,000 registered investors. The platform funded in total more than 685 million euro worth of loans, so more than double the funding volume on Robocash. The active investors on PeerBerry have earned in total more than 8.4 million euro in interest so far, and none of them have ever lost any money. PeerBerry is publishing the financial report for the marketplace. The platform made a profit of 142,000 euro in 2020. The financial groups that list loans on PeerBerry made much higher profits last year. Aventus Group made a net profit of 10.5 million euro, and GoFingo companies on PeerBerry made around 750,000 euro profit last year. When it comes to the diversification on PeerBerry, you can invest in 25 lenders from 4 financial groups that operate in countries like Ukraine, Poland, Russia, Kazakhstan, Vietnam, or Sri Lanka. Obviously, the loan availability is fluctuating, so you won't be able to always diversify equally across all lenders and countries. Also, you might want to limit your exposure in certain countries or loan types. While the majority of the loans on PeerBerry are short-term loans, you can also invest in consumer loans, leasing deals, or real estate loans. So there are quite a few options available. You can, by the way, start investing from just €10, which allows you to diversify your portfolio rather quickly. When it comes to the diversification on Robocash, it's slightly different. You will be only investing in lenders under the Robocash group. There are currently loans available from lending companies in Kazakhstan, Spain, Singapore, or the Philippines. The availability of loans from Vietnam and Russia is currently very limited. Most of the loans are unsecured consumer loans. We have actually had the chance to talk to the management from the lending company in Kazakhstan, so if you are interested in investing in those loans, I highly recommend watching our video here with Yerkanat Kashgaliev. What I want to point out is that throughout my experience with both PeerBerry and Robocash, I've learned that when there is a high risk of defaults in a particular country, the lending companies will limit their funding from P2P marketplaces or not list any loans at all. This is, by the way, something that is not that common in the P2P lending space. If you have invested on Mintos previously, you might have had a negative experience with some of the lenders. Alright, let's move on to the next category, which is all about the return. So obviously, you want to make the best risk-adjusted returns, so it's important to highlight how much you will make per year when investing on PeerBerry or Robocash. The return on both platforms is mainly influenced by the interest that is being offered for the listed loans, their sign-up bonus, as well as the loyalty bonus for investors who are investing higher amounts. So let's have a look at what you can earn on PeerBerry. The interest rate ranges currently from 9 to 12% per year. If you decide to use our referral link in the description below, you will get a 0.5% bonus, which is being calculated from your invested amount during the first 90 days. But that's not all. On top of that, you can get yourself a higher interest rate by increasing your investment amount. PeerBerry rewards loyal investors with a bonus of up to 1% on all of your investments. It all comes down to the amount of money that you invest. Investors who invest at least €10,000 will get a 0.5% increase in the reward rate on all investments. Investors who invest at least €25,000 will receive a bonus of 0.75% on top of the offered interest rate, and investors who invest €40,000 will get a 1% bonus on top of the interest rate. So if you are ready to invest 40k, you will earn between 10 and 13% interest per year, plus the sign-up bonus during the first 3 months. On Robocash, the interest rate is ranging from 10.5% and 12% per year. There's also a sign-up bonus on Robocash. If you use the link in the description or type in our referral code during the registration, you will receive a 1% bonus on your invested amount during the first 30 days from the registration. Robocash does also reward loyal investors. You will receive an increase of 0.3%, 0.5%, 0.7%, and 1% to the basic interest rate when your total portfolio balances reaches 5k, 10k, 15,000 or 25,000 accordingly. By investing €25,000 on Robocash, you will get a return between 11.5% and 13% per year. On top of that, you will get a 1% bonus during the first 30 days. So by comparing both reward schemes, Robocash is paying out a slightly better rate, and you can reach the VIP bonus with a smaller amount than on PeerBerry. When it comes to the liquidity on PeerBerry, you will have to wait until the end of the loan term, which depends on the individual loans in which you invest. As most of the loans are short-term loans, you will have the option to exit your investments usually within 30 days. Robocash has a secondary market. While this feature is slightly hidden, you can simply choose the loans that you want to sell and exit your investments. Depending on the current demand for investment and your portfolio size, this can take up to a few days. Withdrawals on both platforms are typically processed within a few hours or 1 business day. This is, however, also dependent on your bank. We have never had any issues with withdrawing funds from either of those platforms. Usually it takes less than 1 day. When it comes to the customer support, both platforms offer excellent support for retail investors. You can simply use their chat options to ask any questions you may have. Both platforms will be able to resolve any issues connected to your account. When it comes to more, let's say, sophisticated questions, PeerBerry does a better job of providing more complete answers. It has happened for me in the past that a critical question hasn't been answered and I received simply a reference to the terms and conditions. Now, this is a rather subjective matter and I do generally ask a lot of questions, so it's likely that your experience will be just fine. Okay, so let's move on to the next section where we will mention some of the latest developments surrounding both platforms. There has been a lot of development around PeerBerry. The platform has moved its operation to Croatia and applied for the EMI license as well as the crowdfunding license in Lithuania. PeerBerry informed us that they expect to receive the crowdfunding license this fall, so by the time you're watching this video, the platform is likely already licensed. PeerBerry is also developing a new crowdfunding platform where you will be able to invest in real estate loans. So yes, there are going to be some changes next year. There has not been so much development on Robocash. The platform has exceeded the total funding volume of 300 million euro in September, and Robocash has also published the consolidated financials for the first 6 months of 2021. The Robocash group has made a profit of $15.4 million, which is just slightly more than the Aventus group, which is reporting a profit of $15.26 million for the same period. So now you should have a good understanding of both platforms. Let me now share with you some of my own experiences over the years with PeerBerry and Robocash. The first time I tried Robocash was in 2018. The platform was rather new at that point, and I stopped my investments due to the low availability of loans. This year I had the chance to record a couple interviews with the management and the cash track problem has been resolved, which is why I rejoined the platform and invested a larger amount of money. The user interface is very simple and there is really nothing fancy about Robocash. You simply deposit money, set up your auto invest, and that's it. It has been very reliable so far, and I am not aware that any active investor has ever had any problems. Robocash does tick a lot of the boxes, and while the platform is not licensed, the lending companies do have the necessary licenses to operate in their markets. Robocash is therefore suitable for passive investors, as there is really not much else to do. You just need to deposit money and earn interest on your investments. That has worked very well so far. PeerBerry is a marketplace rather than a P2P platform that lists loans from just one lending group, so you have a bit more options on PeerBerry, both in terms of countries and lending companies. Like Robocash, there hasn't been a case where the platform did not fulfill the obligation towards the investors. The buyback guarantee has been very reliable and I was always able to withdraw my funds if needed. What's slightly different is that you can invest manually on PeerBerry if you wish to do that. I would also say that PeerBerry is technologically slightly more advanced than Robocash. You can also use the mobile app to track the performance of your portfolio. PeerBerry is also seeking to acquire some additional licenses, whereas we are not aware of similar plans on Robocash. Alright, so now what is something I dislike? Well, this summer I had a bit of cash track on PeerBerry for a few days where I had to invest manually. That is not a big deal for me, but for some investors it may be frustrating. Also, the interest rates have dropped for some of the lenders at the end of the summer, which is obviously something that no one is happy about, right? Now, on Robocash, I think that there is room for some improvements when it comes to the user dashboard. It would be good to have some charts showing me the current and delayed loans as well as the diversification across lenders and countries. You have the access to this information if you download the loan book and create your own charts, but this could have been also shown in the dashboard, which would make it more user-friendly for the investors. So now the big question is, which platform is better? And honestly, it's very tight. Both platforms have been very reliable and I never had any bad experience with either of them. They know what they are doing and you can tell that they protect investors' interests, which is not always the case in the P2P industry. Both platforms are very transparent, and while Robocash has the secondary market and slightly higher rates, PeerBerry's loan availability is slightly better, and so is the usability of the platform. Personally, I find the support on PeerBerry a bit better, especially when it comes to answering more sophisticated questions. Anyway, I think that both platforms are very solid options that you should consider if you're looking for a very stable return on your investment. So that's been our comparison between the two platforms. Let me know in the comments which one do you prefer and why. I'm really curious to hear your opinion on this one. As always, this is no investment advice. P2P lending is, generally speaking, a risky investment. There are always risks involved which you can't predict, so there is always a chance that you might lose some money. While both platforms have an excellent track record, no one can foresee the future, which is why you should always keep an eye on the development of the platforms where you are investing. We aim to keep our reviews up to date, so make sure to have a look at our Robocash and PeerBerry review prior to investing to read the latest news surrounding those platforms. And on this note, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.